So if you're a buyer, what can you do to make the most of the open houses you go to? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Sharon Rosa. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this week's video, I want to talk about open houses. Now, open houses are a great way for buyers to see a lot of different houses. When you are going to take that time to go and look at these houses, though, you really should get the most that you possibly can out of that tour. So here are a couple of things that I suggest to my buyers. I have buyers that will go to open houses if I'm unavailable to take them to see something, or I have some buyers that I've worked with for quite some time, and so they don't want to bug me until they're sure they have found a house they really like, so they'll try to go to open houses. When you go to an open house, there are a couple of things that you should do to make sure you're getting everything you can out of that experience. First and foremost, open things up. Open up doors, open up closets, open up drawers. Remember, the people showing that house know and expect the people coming through to be looking. That's what an open house is for. It's probably easier to do that at an open house than if you are going to see a house, because sometimes if you've called at the last minute, or the person was busy and yes, they know people are coming but they didn't have time to straighten up, sometimes you might feel a little awkward because you can tell that they rushed out or whatever. At an open house, people expect you to be going through their homes and they should have it ready to be investigated. Another thing you can do when you're going through an open house is take pictures so that you can remember things in your head, especially if you are going to 3 or 4 open houses in a day. And also make sure you take notes. And it's really easy to do. We all have our phones today. You can take notes on your phone. Just make sure that you do it on either separate notepads or that you put titles in it so you know what comments are about which house. Then when you're done going through that house, you might want to spend some time looking at the neighborhood. I talked about some buyer's remorse things a couple of videos ago, and one of the things was somebody moving into a house and then realizing that they don't love the neighborhood. So if it's a Saturday or Sunday afternoon and you're driving around for the day looking at open houses, spend a few extra minutes and drive around that neighborhood, or better yet, walk around that neighborhood and see if there's a lot of traffic or noise, or drive around to see what's in the area so that you know. And that is helpful as well. Once you've done all of that, then call your real estate agent and talk with them about what you discovered. If you have any questions that you wrote down in your notes, your real estate agent should be able to talk to the listing agent and get answers for you. You can also go through those houses and have a discussion with your agent. If you've worked with your agent for a while, they should have a pretty good sense of you and should be able to, even though they haven't gone through the house, based off of what you're telling them, they should be able to help you kind of narrow down some of the things that you might take into consideration, or that they know you'll be taking into consideration when you actually decide to make an offer on a house. Now, depending on how the market is, or depending on how busy the open house was, you may or may not have time to go through again. If you go on a Saturday, there's a good chance that if your agent is available on Sunday and you want to go look at it again, you might be able to do that, because even if they are calling for highest and best, it probably won't be until Sunday evening or Monday. So you might be able to go and see it again. In this market, however, you might not have the opportunity to go through another time before they're calling for highest and best. So that's why it's so important when you're going through that house to really go through and pay attention. The open houses are generally a couple of hours, so go, take your time, look at the things that are important to you, have a discussion with who you're going through with, and then obviously have a discussion with your agent once you leave there. Now, some people get nervous about going to open houses if they're already working with an agent. All you have to do is tell the agent who is sitting at that open house that you have an agent, and you can give them our name whoever your agent is, and say, hey, I'm working with Sharon Rosa from Keller Williams. We wanted to come and see the house though. Then when you sign in, you can put your agent's phone number, you can put your agent's email, and so you don't have to ever worry about that. So those are just a couple of tips if you're deciding to go to an open house or several open houses, just to make sure that you're not wasting time. Make sure you take those notes, notice that neighborhood, and then have a discussion with your agent when you're done for the day. That's it for this week. I hope you have a wonderful week. Make sure you subscribe at the bottom of the page. If you have any questions, please email me at sharonrosa@kw.com, and I will see you here next Friday. Thanks.